Beautiful.
So this is this will be
orange.
Sightseeing with Dignity number 25.
Yes.
Maura Clarke, you'll probably remember this.
Laura Clarke.
Maura Clarke, she was a Maryknoll missionary.
I know.
She and three other
She
nuns
was one of the four.
were raped
who were-
and murdered by National Guardsmen in El Salvador in
El Salvador,
1980.
December 1980, Reagan's election, almost simultaneous. Yes.
And so I got about 2/3 to 3/4 of the wing drawn at the Burke, and then while I was home coughing for 5 weeks, I decided that the bottom half of it was done. I decided I could just finish it based on what I had done there. I'll be able to finish,
Yes.
which is what I did here
It's beautiful,
just a
Akiva.
week or two ago.
It's beautiful. It's gorgeous.
So
the
thanks.
golds and the wash orange is. Oh my gosh! There are just places where it's the metallic, the luminescence of this is so gorgeous.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
You're hired.
Good.
So this
I need
is
the job.
on this one. I'll tell you who this is in a sec. I as far as I got at the Burke the last time I was there, I got the outline of the wing.
Yes.
And I just begun some of the feathers there in pencil. So when school resumes up at the UW, sometime in January, I hope to finish this there, early February. Fernando Brodsky was a 22-year-old Argentinian Jewish man. Un desaparecido in Spanish,
Sí.
one of the disappeared.
See.
And I didn't know this until I began looking for more information on him on the internet and found an article in an English language Argentinian newspaper about a trial of 2 or 3 ex-military people in regard to his death.
His death.
I don't know if his father's still alive. His father was a highly regarded and well-known ophthalmologist in Argentina. His brother, his name was Fernando Brodsky. Fernando's brother is an artist and human rights advocate. And because of, I think, at least in good part, because of the loss of his brother, his life revolves around human rights. I haven't looked at the brother's art yet, but I plan to contact him after I finish the drawing.
Yes.
So he was. So it was in an article on this Argentinian English language newspaper about the trial, which I found online, and I had heard of this years ago, but I never knew of anyone specific that it had happened to. But I had heard years ago that sometimes the military would take the political prisoners and they would take them in military jets or whatever and dump them out over the ocean.
Yes.
That's what happened to him.
Yes. It happened. It happened many times. Yes.
So
that was documented.
Yeah. So that was 1979,
Dear God.
a year before she was slain. So the wings are gonna touch.
Oh, cool.
Cool idea. Oh yes.
So
December. No, that can't be right. Yes, Reagan's just been elected. It's December 1980, and I'm at the first meeting of Amnesty International in Duluth, Minnesota. And we get 2 urgent action notices. One is about the 4 women who were kidnapped. Later we learned they were raped and murdered by Salvadoran National Guard people. The other one was for a man who was disappeared in Zimbabwe. No, not Zimbabwe. I'm sorry, Zaire. In Zaire. And we worked on his case for, my gosh, we worked on his case for 5 years before we finally learned that he was already dead by the time we learned that he had been kidnapped by Mobutu's security forces in what was then not Zaire, but the Belgian Congo. Is that right?
I have to look that up.
Yeah, me too. So, Maura Clarke, thank you for remembering her. Peter, this is what I was saying about one of the thrusts of Akiva's work is to give dignity to those whose lives were stolen. Wow. Maura Clarke, Ita Ford. I'm trying to come up with the other 2 names. Yeah, Maryknoll missioners.
She was from my hometown,
Really?
Queens, New York, which we don't want to say this too loud, but Donald Trump, of course, was from Queens, New York.
We don't have to say it lots of times. You know.
he gives a bad name to the Queen's English that I'm so proud of that I speak.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, he gives
He
a bad
gives
name.
a bad name to a